A woman, alone in her car, navigating the desolate city streets under the cloak of night. Our heroine, a creature of habit, embarks on her routine nocturnal drive. She's always found solace in the quiet hum of her engine and the rhythmic dance of streetlights against her windshield. The city, usually bustling with life, is now a serene symphony of tranquility, where the moon is her only companion. Tonight, however, her customary solitude is disrupted. Her phone lights up, an unexpected message flickering into view. It's an unknown number, yet it predicts her every move, every turn she's about to take, every stop she's about to make. A shiver of unease runs down her spine like a cold finger tracing her back. She tries to shake it off, attributing it to a prankster with too much time on their hands. But as the messages continue, her heart starts to pound like a drum against her ribcage. The eerie accuracy of the messages, their relentless predictability of her course, it's all too coincidental. The tranquility she once cherished now feels suffocating, the silence interrupted only by the ominous ping of incoming messages. She's trapped in her own car, a prisoner of her own routine. The city streets, once a sanctuary, now seem like a labyrinth, each turn leading her deeper into uncertainty. She clutches the wheel tighter, her knuckles turning white under the strain. The fear is a living entity in the car now, a passenger she didn't invite. The glow of her phone screen is a haunting beacon in the darkness, each new message a chilling prophecy of her journey. Her mind races, thoughts spinning as she tries to make sense of what's happening. Is it a stalker, a twisted game, or perhaps something more sinister? The uncertainty amplifies her fear, transforming her peaceful drive into a chilling pursuit. She glances in her rearview mirror only to see a figure standing ominously in the distance. A cold dread washes over her, the figure's presence a grim confirmation of her worst fears. The drive is no longer tranquil, it's unsettling, and she's far from alone. The messages lead her to a grand, eerily silent mansion, standing as a monument of forgotten times. The mansion, a vast edifice of stone and shadow, looms ominously in the moonlight. It's a chilling sight, a relic of bygone days, whispering tales of faded grandeur and long-lost lives. Our protagonist, a woman both courageous and terrified, takes a deep breath and steps over the threshold into the gloom. The mansion, despite its years of abandonment, feels strangely alive, as if it's been waiting patiently for her arrival. Each creaking floorboard, every echo of the wind through the hollow rooms, seems to call her name. She ventures further, her heart pounding in her chest. The once opulent mansion is now a labyrinth of dust and decay, but there's an odd familiarity in the air that sends shivers down her spine. The grandeur of the past is now just a ghostly echo in the peeling wallpaper and fading portraits. Each room she enters seems to reveal a new layer of dread. She finds a room filled with old letters, their contents revealing a web of deceit and betrayal. Another room houses a collection of antiquated medical instruments, their purpose now chillingly clear. She stumbles upon a ballroom, its grandeur now tainted by the specter of death and betrayal. As she navigates through the mansion, she's drawn to a portrait hanging in a dimly lit hallway. It's a face she hasn't seen in years, but one she could never forget. The eyes in the portrait seem to stare back at her, a silent accusation from the past. A chilling realization strikes her. This mansion belongs to her estranged friend. The one she had wronged, the one she had betrayed. The mansion, the messages, the mysterious figure in the rearview mirror, it all leads back to her. The forgotten mansion is not just a monument of times past, but a mirror reflecting her own buried guilt. A chilling realization strikes her. This mansion belongs to her estranged friend. In the heart of the mansion she finds a room that held a secret, a betrayal buried deep. As the darkness looms around, she steps into the room, her heart pounding like a war drum in her chest. The air in the room feels thick, heavy with something more than dust and age. It's a room that seems to scream betrayal, its walls echoing with silent accusations. Every inch of the room carries a story of friendship gone sour, of trust shattered into a million pieces. The room is a mausoleum of memories, a monument to a past she had tried so hard to forget. She's in the heart of the mansion, but she's also in the heart of a mystery that's more personal than she ever could have imagined. As she ventures deeper into the room, she stumbles upon a relic from the past. A letter, its ink faded, but its words still sharp. It's a letter from her friend, a desperate plea for forgiveness that was never answered. The realization hits her like a punch in the gut. The mysterious messages, the mansion, they were all part of a revenge plot by her estranged friend. Her friend was the puppet master, pulling the strings from the shadows. The friend she had wronged was now the one haunting her, seeking retribution for the betrayal. It was a game of cat and mouse, and she was the unsuspecting mouse caught in a trap of guilt and regret. She had been driving blindly into the night, unaware that each mile was leading her closer to the truth. A truth that was now staring her in the face, cold and unrelenting. It was a betrayal that had been buried deep, but now it was unearthed, its ghost demanding justice. The room spins around her as the weight of the revelation sinks in. Her friend, the one she had betrayed, was the stalker. The mysterious figure in the rearview mirror, the shadowy silhouettes in the mansion, they were all her friend's doing. Her friend was the stalker, seeking retribution for the betrayal. As she unraveled the horrifying truth, she heard a familiar voice echoing through the mansion. The stillness of the grand hall was sliced open by the voice that had once been a comfort, now twisted into a chilling specter of the past. She turned around, and there stood her friend, the architect of her terror-filled nights. His figure, shrouded in the mansion's darkness, seemed to blur the line between the living and the dead. Their eyes locked, two mirrors reflecting the turmoil within. The air was thick with the weight of unspoken words, fear, and regret. The confrontation was a chilling culmination of a friendship turned sour, a bond severed by betrayal. "Did you enjoy your drive? I made sure you were never alone," her friend sneered, his voice echoing through the mansion's cavernous hallways. The reality of his words hit her like a cold wave, the pieces of the horrifying puzzle falling into place. She fought back, her voice trembling but resolute. Why would you do this?" There was an eerie silence. Her question floated in the air, a ghost among many in the mansion. The answer, when it came, was laced with bitterness and remorse. "You left me behind," he spat out, his words ricocheting off the cold stone walls. "You left me to rot while you moved on." His words, a chilling reminder of a past mistake, were filled with anger and a deep-seated sense of abandonment. The room seemed to grow colder, the echoes of their confrontation reverberating through the mansion. The revelation was a chilling climax, where the past and present collided in a haunting tableau of regret and revenge. It was a confrontation that laid bare the skeletal remains of their friendship, stripped of warmth and trust. She flees the mansion, leaving behind the ghostly remnants of their friendship. As she ran, the mansion, once a symbol of grandeur, now seemed to loom over her like a monstrous specter, a chilling reminder of a friendship lost to the shadows of betrayal. The night had passed and the sun was rising, casting light on the horrors of the night. As the first rays of sun pierced through the darkness, our protagonist had survived the night of terror and emerged from the haunted mansion. The menacing shadows that once lurked in every corner were now nothing more than harmless silhouettes, dissipating in the morning light. She sat in her car, her heart still pounding, her hands trembling slightly on the wheel. The rearview mirror, once a source of terror, now reflected the dawn's early light. The mysterious figure that had terrified her was now just a chilling memory. Her night drives, once a source of solace, now carried a haunting resonance that would forever taint the tranquility of the open road. In the quiet of the morning, she found herself grappling with a whirlwind of emotions. Relief washed over her like a cleansing wave, erasing the fear that had held her captive. Yet, there was also a profound sadness, a mournful echo of what had been lost. A friendship, once cherished, had been consumed by the flames of betrayal and revenge. The haunted mansion was not just a house of horrors, but a monument to a bond that had been irrevocably shattered. She looked back at the mansion one last time. Its sinister silhouette now seemed almost benign in the light of day. The mansion, like the friendship, was a part of her past that she would leave behind, a chilling chapter in her life that had now come to a close. The woman started her car, the engine purring softly, a stark contrast to the deafening silence of the night before. Her night drives would continue, but they would never be the same. They would carry with them a reminder of the haunting past and the chilling truth that sometimes the monsters we fear are closer than we think. As the sun rises, she drives away, leaving behind the haunted mansion and a piece of her past.